Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
Guys, baseball is back. I'm so ecstatic. I am so excited that we have Major League Baseball back. Today is minor league opening day. AAA starts today at 2:05, so I will be tuned into all the AAA action, and I'm really looking forward to that. But man, what an opening day we had, and I'm going to break it all down for you. Every day, you're going to get a short recap. It's going to be a 15-minute show. The main focus will be minor league baseball usually, but today we only had Major League Baseball. So we're going to talk about, exactly that. Major League Baseball. I will always sprinkle in some Major League Baseball talk into the show every morning, but the show will be pretty much exclusively talking about prospects in the previous day. But this week you will get MLB coverage because we have AAA starting today on Friday, March 28th, but we have a full week until we get other affiliates starting. So it'll be good. But first, this episode is brought to you by Connect Roasters. As always, Ian Happ had an awesome game. He had a homer, had a double. We smoked a couple of balls. Guess what? Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. I've got mine right here in this nice mom mug because my other mugs were dirty that I usually use. But yes, it is about 9 o'clock as I'm recording this, and I've got my morning coffee. A nice cold brew of the Gold Glove blend. I drink it every morning, twice a day. I like to put a little cold foam on the top of it. You can make cold foam pretty easily. Just look it up. You can do it. But you can get Connect Roasters Gold Glove blend, which is Ian Happ's coffee. Buy one, get one 50% off by going to Connect Roasters and using the code Dynasty Dugout, or use the link below. We're also proud to partner with Chinook Seedery. They have the best seeds in the game. They have a wide variety of flavors, and frankly, they're just so unique and good. I've had a lot of sunflower seeds over the years, but those cinnamon toasts are incredible. They have dill pickle. They have jalapeno ranch. They've got all kind of flavors. And you can get 10% off your order at ChinookSeedery.com just using the code Dynasty Dugout. But let's dive right in. Today's show, like I said, going to feature a lot of good discussion. I want to start right off the top with MacKenzie Gore. MacKenzie Gore was dominant, to put it nicely. It was probably the best start of his career. And the path that Gore has taken to get here, I'm just so happy for the guy. Gore was drafted quite high, 3 overall, if I'm not mistaken. I do want to confirm that, and I'm not making it up because it was years ago. He was drafted back in 2017, 3rd overall to the Padres. And it's not been the easiest road for him. 2017 is a long time ago at this point, but Gore's still just 26 years old. A lot of times prep pitchers don't work. Gore ascended to be the top pitching prospect in the game in 2020 and 2021, and he was, by some, the top overall prospect in the game. That's how highly he was valued, and frankly, how good he was. Obviously, we didn't have a minor league season in 2020, so Gore just kind of sat at the top of the prospect list, and he came out in 2021. He spent time injured, and when he was on the mound, it was bad. Then he got the yips. He couldn't throw a strike. He literally had the yips. It is what it was. And he went to the AFL. I saw him in the AFL, and he just still didn't have it. It's been a bumpy road. He was obviously part of that Juan Soto trade, which, is that the best trade? That might be the best return for a star that we've seen in a long time. Oftentimes those trades don't work out for the team trading the star, but this trade's working out really, really good for the Nationals. Just a side note there. But Gore comes over, and he just wasn't good. He wasn't even good with the Nationals in 2022. But they say, hey, we're going to see what you got coming back from injury, put him in the majors in 2023, and he was fine. He didn't have a great year. He threw 136 innings. But last year, Gore began to take strides forward, and he had a really good, everybody's kind of like, oh, he had a good start to last year. Yes, I understand that Gore started really hot last year, but at the same time, like, I believe that Gore has everything that he needs to succeed and be successful all season long. So last year, I want to pull up the numbers. His first 11 starts of 2024, Gore had 2.91 ERA with a 2.84 FIP. So it wasn't like he was just lucky. He had a really good start to the year. In June, he blew it all up. He blew up twice for 6 and 5 earned runs, and he had a couple good starts, and he had a 10K performance in there. 7 innings, 1 run, 10K sprinkled in the midst of June. And then he finished the year on a hot note. His last 40 innings, he had a 1.55 ERA with 45 strikeouts in 40 innings. So I think that if he can stay healthy all year, if he can stay consistent all year, Gore is primed to be a top 20 starting pitcher. I'm not overreacting to this start because I wrote him up as a breakout multiple times this offseason. He pounded the zone with his fastball yesterday, worked about 96 miles an hour. It topped at 98. He's got increased IVB from previous seasons, 19 inches of vert, 22 tops. So 6 of his 20 whiffs came on the four-seam fastball. Like, it was a dominant performance for the fastball. But I also thought Gore sequenced his pitches really, really well. He threw the slider 25% of the time, and he got whiffs on it. 8 of his whiffs came on the slider. 10 swings, 8 whiffs. Pretty impressive. 40% whiff rate overall. Pretty good. 39% CSW, top of the scale. All the pitches were working. The curveball looked good. The slider is interesting. He kind of changed the shape a little bit and throwing more of a cutter in what used to be the slider. And now his current slider has a little more depth to it. And it's kind of in the 86, 87 mile an hour range, which is a little bit different, but it works. I'm not overreacting, but Gore carved up a really good, like a World Series contending lineup with the Phillies. I don't know. I think you walk away and say, Gore showed this last year. He showed what he could be. And then he comes out on opening day and has his best career start. I don't know. I think Gore's legit. I'm fully buying in. Wilyer Abreu is probably the best hitter of the day, which is kind of fascinating because he missed a month of spring with that GI illness that's been kind of hammering a lot of people. Like, it put Roman Anthony down. It put Abreu down for a month. Mookie Betts. Like, these guys have been, like, Abreu lost significant weight. He was quoted saying this when he returned, which is interesting. I think it might have helped me a little bit just because I feel I'm in form more than I was. The weight loss kind of helped me a bit. That's a crazy statement. And I honestly thought it might be a lost first few months for Abreu. But he came out and he reached base in all 4 trips to the plate. He smoked 2 homers. He walked. He had a 111 mile an hour single, and then he had 109 and 111 mile an hour home run. Last year, he had just 12 balls hit 108.7 miles an hour or harder, and he did 3 times on opening day. I think that some think that Abreu could just be out of a spot because, Roman Anthony's coming. I'm not sure that's the case. I think Abreu is good enough to stick in the lineup. I believe that he's just going to hit, and he's going to be really stinking good. So how does it shake out? Like, it's going to be interesting. I frankly don't know. Devers is your DH. You've got the infield all locked up. You have Jarren Duran in left. You have Cedric Rafaela, who they've committed to with an extension in center, and Abreu in right, who had a really good rookie season last year, and now comes out the gate like this. Where does Roman fit? That's the question. I tend to think that Rafaela may be the odd guy out. He kind of works in the utility role. He's a great defender. Like, that's his case to stay in the lineup. Not a good hitter, but a world-class defender in center. He can play short. He can play second. And who knows? Trevor Story has to stay healthy too. So sometimes those things just work themselves out. But, Abreu, great start to the year. Several others that had great starts as well. Framber Valdez had a good start. He wasn't flashy. He didn't light up the stat sheet. He went 7 scoreless, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. It wasn't dominant, but it was vintage Framber Valdez. Like, he just did what you wanted him to do. Sean Burke was another one, and he faced the Angels. So, like, we want to put a caveat on that, but here's why Sean Burke's start was important. This guy has struggled to throw strikes throughout his career. He didn't walk a batter in 6 innings, and he threw strikes at a 67% clip. So that's really important. He struck out 3, didn't walk a batter, and just 3 hits over 6 innings. Logan Gilbert looked like an ace. He is an ace. I mean, we know that. But he came out, and despite the Tyler Soderstrom homer, who we'll talk about next, Gilbert shoved over 7 innings. He allowed us 2 hits with 1 earned run being the homer. He didn't walk a batter, and he struck out 8. So here's where things are interesting for Gilbert. His fastball velocity's down a tick. I'll tell you, I think it's a really good thing. Why? Because Logan Gilbert lives really close to his max velocity. That can be dangerous at times. But sitting 95.6 versus 96.6, I don't think it's going to hurt you. He showed increased ride on the fastball. He missed bats with it. Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good. He had 16 whiffs. He threw strikes. He pounded the zone. And he sequenced well, which I think is the big thing. He threw the slider, four seam, and splitter all at least 25% of the time. He threw the curve 16% of the time to righties. He's only going to throw it to right-handed batters, but it worked. Splitter was his dominant pitch. He generated 9 whiffs on it on 14 swings, set around 83 miles an hour. It's actually a step back velocity-wise too, but the movement profile actually looks a little bit better. It's got more depth to it. If you're watching the video on YouTube, you can see, I think Gilbert's going to be fine, and he looks like he might be one of the best starters in baseball, given that he's shown the ability to pitch deep into starts and throw 200 innings. Not many people can do that and pitch the level that he does. So, Logan Gilbert, dominant. But what about Tyler Soderstrom? The Athletics. He's got something to prove. Why? Because Nick Kurtz is starting in AAA and he's looming. So, Kurtz could come for that first base job, but Soderstrom's going to say, hey, I'm here to stay in whatever role it may be. He's going to hit, and he's going to find his at-bat. So, Soderstrom, dominant. 2 home runs on opening day. That'll definitely hit you for some good memory that puts you in a good spot with the manager and the team in general. He smoked the ball. One of the home runs got out in a hurry, smoked line drive at 111.4 miles an hour. It was an absolute shot. The distance travel wasn't super high, but it got out in a hurry. And the other one, 5th inning home run, the one off Gilbert, 108.7 mile an hour. It traveled 432 feet, which that's a absolute shot. So I think Soderstrom's here to say, listen, he did this in Seattle. They're playing in Seattle, which is a hard place to hit. Balls don't travel there, and hitters often struggle with power. Not Tyler Soderstrom. Dominant performance. We had a couple other 2 home run days to highlight. Abreu and Soderstrom did it, but we also had some from Cedric Mullins and Adley Rutschman. So the Orioles duo went off, and Rutschman really needed that. He struggled in the second half last year, and people were kind of down on him. So I'm still an advocate believer that Adley Rutschman's going to be one of the best catchers in the game. And he showed that. He smoked 2 home runs, 105.8 off the bat that traveled 436 and 108.5 that went 415. The ball was moving in the Rogers Center, but again, it's a neutral environment. It's indoors. You got to like what you saw from Rutschman yesterday. And Ced Mullins, who has been a forgotten about man. He had his 30-30 season. It was kind of downhill since, but people have just kind of written him off, which his ADP was so low this year. It's been 3 seasons at this point since he had 30 homer, 30 stolen base season. But you look at what he did last year. He had the quad injury, which affected him. He had just 499 plate appearances, and he slashed 234, 305, 405. But in less than 500 plate appearances, Mullins still hit 18 homers, and he stole 32 bases. You look, and here's why he can still get to home run power. He pulled 50% of his fly balls last year, and he had a 93 mile an hour average exit velocity on that demographic of batted balls. He's super aggressive on pitches in the zone, especially over the heart. And really, he had a career best zone and overall contact rate last year. There's a lot of prospects looming for the Orioles in the outfield, but again, Mullins maybe he's trade bait. Maybe they move him for pitching, but I think Mullins is saying, I'm here to stay. He drives in 5 runs. He scores twice, has 3 hits. Great day for Cedric Mullins. So, I'm very much in on him. I drafted him pretty much everywhere. He was going behind Jake McCarthy. This is a better bat than Jake McCarthy. The counting stats that he gives you is going to be really, really good. So I'm in on Ced Mullins for sure. So multiple 2 homer days with Abreu, Mullins, Rutschman, and Soderstrom. Some other notables that hit home runs, want to highlight Logan O'Hoppe and Keibert Ruiz. Lennon Sosa homered. He's kind of a potential sleeper. Nolan Arenado, Austin Wells hit the first home run of the season, leading off for the Yankees. He blasted a bomb. Nick Gonzalez homered. That was fun to see. Anthony Volpe hit an opposite field bomb, just kind of floated in the wind and went. Elio Ramos homered. Austin Riley. Just some of the notables there. I think that when you look at some of these guys, like Ian Happ's won because he had multiple hits. Jorge Polanco had multiple hits as well, and including a home run. Ball was traveling, but a couple more pitchers to highlight before we close out the show. Obviously, we hit on some of the main ones to start, but Zach Eflin was really good. 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned. He had just 2 strikeouts, which is fascinating. But, Eflin has proved time and time again that he'll be pretty solid for the whole season. Zach Wheeler had 8 strikeouts. Again, vintage Wheeler. He's aging, but he's not aging as a player. Like 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. I thought Carlos Rodon looked really good. And, yeah, I mean, he was hit around a little bit at times, but, again, he still struck out 7 and 5 1/3. And he had 4 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks. Luis Severino, outside of his 4 walks, I thought Severino pitched really well. 6 strikeouts across 6 scoreless innings with 3 hits allowed. Hunter Green, 8 strikeouts over 5 innings, 2 earned allowed. Paul Skeens struck out 7 over 5 1/3 with 3 hits and 2 earned runs allowed. But Eovaldi was one that stood out that I wrote up this morning. If you want to check out the article, it's linked in the description, kind of just like detailed, nitty-gritty details of the reports of what happened yesterday. But Eovaldi threw a gem against a good Red Sox lineup. The only hitter that had his number was Wilyer Abreu, who we talked about on the top of the show. He did not walk a batter over 6 innings. He allowed just 3 hits, and 2 of those were Wilyer Abreu hits, and he had a homer and a single off of them. Eovaldi had 9 strikeouts and 17 whiffs. Fastball velocity was down 1 mile an hour, but he did not miss a bat with that offering, which is a little bit concerning, but he sequenced well. He threw his curveball more than he did in 2024, less splits. Curveball had 10 whiffs on it alone, and he missed 5 batters on the 88 mile an hour splitter. I'm not worried about the fastball velocity. It's a 35-year-old arm that's still kind of ramping up. He'll get there. So I'm not particularly worried about that. I want to get out of here with Spencer Torkelson. He generated a lot of buzz yesterday. He walked 4 times, which, I mean, pretty good. Let me preface this and say Spencer Torkelson has never had an approach issue. Torkelson has never had an issue chasing pitches out of the zone. Like, that's never been an issue for him. He's always taken his walks, but he did blast a 108.5 mile an hour home run off Alex Vesia. Traveled 423. Pretty dang good. So, Spencer Torkelson did have a great day. I think that everybody was kind of excited about him walking so much. I mean, you look at the pitch chart. I'll throw it up right here in the video. He didn't get any competitive pitches, really. Like, each at bat, like, he was not really getting anything competitive that was out of the zone. There were a few close ones. Torkelson just swung 1 time on the pitch out of the zone, 6% chase rate, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. But Torkelson's had, like, top of the scale chase rates his entire career in the minors. And even last year in his bad major league season, he still had an 85th percentile chase rate, which was really good. And I think it might have even been better the year before when he hit the 31 homers. I do want to kind of look and see and confirm that, but I'm almost certain that his chase rate was even better. Yeah, he's hovered around 23% chase rate his entire pro career. And those are good marks. Like 85th percentile chase rate for major league hitters at his age, that'll play. The approach is good. It always has been good. It's not an issue. If he gets back to the power, if he gets back to making contact, that's the biggest thing. Torque's got to make consistent contact. And I'm waiting to see. I mean, we shall see how that shakes out. People say I'm rooting against the guy. I'm not rooting against the guy at all. I want every player to succeed. I want Spencer Torkelson to succeed. Former first overall pick. I don't root against any player, and it's absurd for people to say, like, when I point out the negatives on a player that I'm rooting against him, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But again, 66% zone contact rate yesterday. 1 game. I'm not putting much stock into it. 70% contact. Whatever. Like, it is what it is. We'll see if it sustains over a longer term. But I did want to highlight Torkelson. Let's get out of here. This is supposed to be a quick hits show, and I'm 20 minutes in. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you'll tune in every day. I will do this every single day. I'll highlight everything you need to know. This has been an edition of the Dynasty Dugout Show, opening day edition. We're back, baby. Let's do it again tomorrow. Enjoy your baseball today. Go watch some AAA ball this weekend. Get out. If you live near a park, go get over to it. Support minor league baseball. That's what I encourage you to do. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.